Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Thank you. I love the interaction. Okay, so as high school students, we are so grateful and excited to be here presenting in front of you guys open source streaming with Jellyfin. And let's start. Okay, so hello, my name is Mikaela Boyon. I go to Port of Los Angeles High School. I'm a current junior interested in engineering. I first heard of cloud from my counselor and wanted to give it a try. I've taken coding classes, Lego Mindstorm Robotics, and I am currently trying to apply for different internships regarding tech like Boeing.
Hello, I'm Timothy Kidd. I go to Da Vinci Science High School. I'm a junior. I grew up being interested in STEAM, kind of like always, but what's helped me develop my passion has been classes at ELCO, also FRC, which is First Robotics Competition, which I do at my high school, and then also Quiz Kit, which has taught me a lot about quantum computing.
Hi, my name is Zoe Villanueva. I'm also from Port of Los Angeles High School. I'm currently a junior and I'm a digital artist. I have a certified Adobe Photoshop professional, and I've grown interest into cloud through a college class, and I've learned the challenges of being a part of it.
Yeah, okay, so what is Jellyfin? I'm sure you probably haven't heard of this. It's a free software and media system, very similar to that of Netflix, but it's free. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Plex, but basically you can put almost any type of media on there and share the access to a bunch of different people. And as long as it's legal, you could sell access to other people as well. So you can put movies, shows, and then unlike Netflix, you can also put music, live TV, books, photos, and then sync play. Sync play is where I could just be watching something as an admin and let other people watch through my screen. So it's pretty versatile. So to do this, we're going to be using Ubuntu 22.04. We're using Ubuntu because it's free. It's easy to use. It has very simple updates. It has really useful pre-installed softwares, which makes everything a lot easier. And then minimum hardware demands, which is important for what we're doing today. So now we're going to be talking about AWS. There's different ways to launch an Ubuntu server. You could do it on your computer, but we're doing virtual Ubuntu servers. So you could do it through AWS, Oracle Cloud, or Azure. We're going to be showing you AWS because that's what we're most comfortable with. But if you want to follow along during the demonstration, you can use any of these.
Okay, so AWS. So we're going to be using EC2 and LB. So EC2 is Elastic Cloud Compute. EC2 is a scalable web service for cloud computing. It lets users launch virtual machines with various specifications and configurations. It offers different instant types optimized for different workloads, compute, memory, storage-intensive applications. It integrates with other AWS services, providing a complete cloud infrastructure for applications. It offers flexible pricing options, on-demand, spot, and reserved instances.
And we are also using load balancers, which is an AWS service that distributes incoming network traffic across multiple servers. It improves the availability and the scalability of your application by automatically routing traffic to open instances. It can also perform health checks on instances to ensure they are available and can automatically route traffic away from unhealthy instances. Load balancers provide metrics and logs that can be used to monitor and troubleshoot your applications.
Okay, so we're using AWS Lightsail, which is another extension, and it allows us to put the EC2 and the load balancers together. It simplifies a lot of processes, but it just makes it go a lot faster. So on there, you can control everything from your instances, containers. It has simplified load balancers, which we're going to be using, managed databases, and then it just has access to all the other AWS services as well. So now we're going to move right along into the demonstration. Yeah, so we're going to put in like some codes or programs into the Ubuntu server. So this is a QR code and then a tiny URL link to that, so you don't have to type it in, they're kind of long. So if you guys want to get this so you can follow along, I suggest you scan that now. I'll give you guys a second.
Okay, is everyone good?
I think we're good, okay. Okay.
Okay, we'll start the demonstration right now.
So this is Amazon Light Sale, and so when you create anything, you can choose names. So we're just going to be asking you guys for random names anytime we have to name anything. So get some names ready. Yeah. Want me to do this? Okay, so we're going to be in AWS Light Sale opening an instance. It's going to, down here you can go to OS, which is what we need. These are all different apps. And then here you're going to choose Ubuntu 22.04, which I kind of talked about earlier of why we're doing this. These are all different pricing things. The great thing about Amazon, yes, you have to pay for it, but there are free tier options and free trials as well. So this is the first name. Does anyone have any naming suggestions? Yes. Bob? Okay. There's Bob. Yeah. And we're also going to add a SSH key pair because it's going to help us. We already have one, but you can create your own. We have one named Latoya, which we got from a random name generator. So, yeah. That was a SSH key that we added onto there. It helps us get access to the actual server, like a key or like a passcode to your phone. It's very similar. Like all good things, you're gonna have to wait for it. So, yeah, you give it a second. Right now, since this is virtual, this isn't actually on this computer, so we're waiting for the site to actually launch up this server. So we just have to wait on them for that. It looks like it is up and running. So it's, as you can see right here, it says it's up and running. So this is actually really useful. You can actually just connect just like that, which is super useful. Let's see if it works. Sometimes it takes a second. Okay, we're on. So we're gonna go back to, I had you guys type this in or scan this. So here should be all the codes that we're gonna put in here, and these are gonna be in order. So we can go ahead and start doing these, and feel free to follow along on your own computers if you have them. This is the terminal. So this is the actual server that we just put up. This is Ubuntu, which just works by code. Okay, the package is not installed. So sometimes you'll get, depending on where you're launching this instance from, you'll get different errors. So I always like to just update it first, which takes a little bit, but it helps get some of those kinks out. Yeah. So everything, once again, should be on this list. We got these from some websites and just compiled it on here. At the end, we'll have all our resources linked. But yeah, these are very, very useful. It's kind of a simplified version. Yeah, so right now we are going to be using this first one, which just installs some necessary content that we're going to need for the server. So going back to Bob, we should just be able to paste that in and run it. And as you see, after that update, it is able to run. It's pretty fulfilling to see everything start working, so it's really cool. Once again, we'll be waiting. And it looks like it is done. Great, so these are the easier parts. You're just going to be copy and pasting these in. And then we'll get to the customization a little later. That one worked. And sometimes for some of these, you won't get anything returned. It'll just go to the next line of code. And that's kind of how you know it works. If it doesn't work, it'll tell you like, oh, this doesn't exist and things like that. So don't worry if you're not getting a bunch of lines of code back from these. So we're moving on. There's another sudo apt update, which we did at the beginning, but we can do it again. It should be pretty fast this time. That's always my go-to fix. If anything isn't working with these line codes, you can always just go back and update things and upgrade, and it should help fix some of that. So almost done here. These are really fast lines. We're on number 5 if you guys are following along with us. Right there, installing. It's going to ask you yes or no. You can just say yes by putting in a Y and entering. It's going to finish downloading everything. It's pretty simple and easy. That's what we love about Ubuntu, which we said earlier. Things are very, very intuitive, not very confusing. Yeah, this one takes a while. Yeah, so this is setting up the actual Jellyfin server, which later we're going to be able to access through just your web-based browser, which is so you don't have to actually go through this every single time, which is really useful. So we're just going to be able to put in the public IP, and then we'll be able to connect. So while that one finishes up, we can move on to this 6th one. That finished. That worked as well. We can go on to the 7th one. Hope this shows you guys that things are not too hard. Very easy to set up one of these. Very low cost as well. And then this last one, number 8, is just going to, it's not actually going to do anything, but it's going to show you that it's working. So if I put this in, last one didn't work? Oh, I see. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we can just type those in. Ooh. Start. Yeah, this one is start. Sorry about this. Okay, and then sudo system ctl status Jellyfin. Okay, and here you can see that it is active and running. If you don't get that, that means something went wrong. Thank you for helping me there. I appreciate it. So now that we have this up, the server is up, and now we just have to work on actually connecting to the server, like I said, from your web-based browser, like Google Chrome or anything of the sorts. There's this last number 9, as you can see here, but we actually don't have to do it from this side. It's a little easier if you go through Amazon Lightsail, so I'll show you that right now. If you go back to Amazon Lightsail, you can just click Manage, and you have all of your information. If you go onto the networking side of it, you can actually add rules to the firewall. So we're going to go ahead and add a rule, custom TCP, and then this is a special port 8096, and that is what Jellyfin uses to allow us to connect. So we're just going to add that, create. It's going to duplicate for IPv6, which we're not worrying about right now. And then that is the bulk of the work done. So this is actually really, really simple. So now we're going to take our public IP, not the private, and assuming we did everything right, we can paste it in here, and then what we're going to do is colon 8096. That was that port that we just opened. And voila. So, thank you. Want to talk about this? So this is just this is initially the first time you sign on to the server. All you're going to be doing is just like setting it up from the administrative side. So a lot of these you can just click next. Can we have another random name? Jeff? Jeff. Okay, that one's Jeff. Great. You can add media libraries here, but we'll get to that. You can just go to next. That one's good too. And then finish. And then also there's some other things, like there's some add-ons you can do to help smooth this out. But as you can see, now we can sign in with Jeff. And we are in. So as you can see, there's nothing here. That's because we haven't actually put on any data yet. You can go to the dashboard. And then this is what it looks like from the administrative side. So we can actually add users, like for you guys to sign in if you wanted to. So as you can see here, you can add a user. Next name? Fred? Okay. Getting a lot of short names here. This one is Fred. As I can see, you can add passwords, but we don't have to. And then we're going to enable access to all the libraries. But say you didn't want someone to have access to all the libraries for some reason, you could obviously take some away, some of those privileges and things of the sorts. And then this is, did you add it? Okay, did someone want to try logging on to this? You want to try? Okay. You already did? Okay, are you in as Fred? Okay, cool, so it works, right? It's very easy to set up. Also, there are other ways to make it a little more accessible, like if you wanted to create your own address instead of just using the IP, you could use outside sources to do that. But as you can see, it works. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put we're going to put like some media on there, like videos and things of the sorts.
Does anyone want any videos on here? Anything specific?
We're taking video request. We can put literally anything on here that we download.
The crab rave?
No, crab rave.
So this is a good thing and a bad thing. I'm so sorry about this. So if you remember when we were setting up the server, we had to add that SSH key, which was kind of like the password to your phone. The fun thing about that password is that you only have one chance to download it, which I downloaded on my other computer. So yeah, so in hindsight, we should have set it up with by creating a new SSH key. But luckily, we have our old, we have the other Jellyfin account that we set up. So we can just connect to that, and I'll show you some of the media that we put on there. Don't make the same mistake I did, but this just goes to show how secure this is. So this is our other Jellyfin server named Kelly, and we went onto our computers and just found like the first videos on there and just threw them up. So that's what you're seeing here. As you can see, how this one's a little different. Jellyfin has these really cool add-ons where it'll automatically fill in anything that it can. So I can just provide it with a video, and then it'll say, okay, I know what this is. Now I will put some media cover on it. I'll say what it is. I'll put all the description and all the things like that. So it takes care of a lot of different things. And now you can waste your time watching videos of cats. Yeah, so these are some of these random things that we put on here. Like more cats. Oh yeah, we can share login. We have a user on this. Brittany? I think the name, Bethany, or we can create a new one. Okay. Dashboard. So we'll create a new user for you guys to log into on this one. Any names? This is my name guy right here. Give me another name. Hi? Just H-I? Okay. Library access, save. Okay. And now you guys can log into this with just the IP address. Can you guys see that, or is that too small? I can read it out. Okay, I'll read it out. 35.91.102.12 and then :8096. Okay, one more time. You just want to make it big? Yeah. Okay, we're going to make it big real quick for you guys. Don't know what that was. Sorry about that. This is. Okay, there we go. And then you can add a :8096. and you'll just type that into your web-based browser, and then all you're going to do is just sign in with the name hi, no password, hit sign in, and then you should be able to see everything on there. We didn't add a password, but you can add passwords. And this just goes to show that anything you put on here, you can give out to anyone. And only if none of these videos were copyrighted, then we could sell access. But because these are from YouTube, we're not doing that because we only do legal stuff here at Scale. Okay? I don't want any calls from FBI or anything.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Cost-wise, what does it cost on a monthly basis to run this on Amazon?
Okay, so he asked, what does it cost to run this on Amazon? There were some pricing tiers. I think the pricing tier that we looked at was, it said about, yeah, so we can actually show this. So on Amazon Light Sale, when we created a new instance, they just have different pricing plans, which helps. So yeah, as you can see here, it has to do with the memory and storage. So this one, we just chose the $3.05. Okay, yeah, so this is just on Amazon Light Sale. Okay, yeah, so these are the different pricing plans when you're setting up a new instance. So this one is only $3.50, and it has 20 gigabytes of storage, whereas the $5 will be like 40, and it goes all the way up to 116. I'm sure you can go farther than that. Jellyfin is open source, so it's actually free to use, and it's just whatever you deploy it on. And then also something about Amazon Light Sale is that you can add more containers onto it. So we could add more storage onto it as well, which you have to pay for, but it just gives you more storage to put more videos of cats on there. Yeah. Does anyone have any other questions? Totally open to questions. Oh, you do? Okay, yeah.
What about when people download stuff or watch movies, you have to pay for the data transfer? Or how does that work?
No, so this is just a streaming service, so let's see, how do I put this? Are you talking about like from taking videos and putting them onto Jellyfin, or?
Does Amazon charge for gigabyte or whatever?
That's
Obviously, you get a certain amount of storage, but you are limited in how much data can be transferred off of your server. Yeah, transport costs. What's the right word?
I'm not exactly sure. Do you want to go back to the Amazon to see if there's a cost for transferring data in and out? Right there, at the bottom, I think. Transfer. Is this what you were looking for? Yeah, this, okay. So I guess there's a price on everything these days. So, yeah. Great thing about Amazon Light Sale is that it's going to give you all this information, which is really, really useful. So there shouldn't be a lot of ambiguity with all your pricing plans and things of the sorts. Yeah, it should be okay. If anything, it'll charge us, not the actual watcher. Yeah. But as far as from the consumer side, they don't have to like pay anything to actually just watch our videos, because once it's on there, it's on there. Were there other hands out there? I think I saw a few. Go with you in the back. Okay, yeah, so he asked how does Jellyfin compare to other services like Plex? I use Plex, and from what I've seen, I just think that Jellyfin has, at least from my knowledge, you can put a little more on there, just like the audiobooks, but I have seen that on Plex they are very versatile as well. So I think it's just similar ways to do the same things, they're just kind of different paths to get to the same destination, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, both of them are very reliable and legal. I think I saw a question back there, yeah.
Have you done anything with setting up HTTPS so your passwords and data are changed and clear?
No.
You're on port 80, port 8096, that is totally unencrypted. So anytime anybody signs in, their password's being transmitted in plain text.
Thank you for that. I do appreciate that, yeah. So, once again, that is a little outside of the scope of my expertise. Yeah.
When you take CIS 156, I will show you how to do that.
Okay, so if you want to know how to answer that and how to do that, go to El Camino and take CIS 156, because he can answer that question Yeah, that is outside of the scope for now. I'm sorry. Yeah? Yeah. Were there any other questions? One more hand. Okay, yeah. So he asks, is there a limit that you can have, like how many users you can have on this service? And that is why we, actually can we show them how to add the load balancer? Okay, yeah. So thank you for asking that question. That's a really good question. So another thing we talked about for Amazon Lightsail is that you can add load balancers. So what a load balancer is going to allow you to do is, I have too many people going onto this instance. I don't want any lag and like slowness. So it's going to create multiple instances. And now if someone goes on, they're redirected to the one that has the lowest latency so that you don't get too much backup. And then hypothetically, if you have the right scaling, you can have as many people as you want on there. So it's very easy. Sorry. Databases. I think, yeah, okay, so here are the load balancers on Amazon Lightsail. It's very simple. You just create a load balancer. I can show you from scratch. Super, super simple. Oh boy, we need another name. Oh, okay, yeah. Bird? It does for this, yeah. Bird, okay. Yeah, bird, okay. I mean, it works. So you can name it anything you want, and then once again, there is another cost to using these. You can just create the load balancer. And then with the load balancer, we're going to be able to attach it to our instance. So here you just select an instance in the same region, or sorry, manage addresses. Oh, okay. I think this is, I want to say this is because we're in a different region than maybe we created it in. Am I looking past it? Go ahead, sorry. Oh, they were cool, yeah. Bob, we're going to choose Bob because we already have one on Kelly. And then you just simply attach it onto the instance, and then it allows for as many people as you want on there. Yeah, so very easy to set up. It just costs a little money in the long run because you'll be paying like monthly or by how much you're using it. Any other questions? I have not actually played around with multiple instances. I just know for putting it on one, we were working with FileZilla. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but basically it allows you to go into the actual Ubuntu instance and then put information from this computer onto there, which we can't do because of that whole SSH key pair little mess around. I do not know that, but I do know that on the admin side, you can change the access to libraries, so I assume you could just change, okay, access to all of the libraries. I would assume, I don't know, a little outside of my scope.
So in Jellyfin, all the media is indexed to the database by app. So if you want to have video accessible to multiple instances, that video must be in the same place in all the instances.
Okay.
And you might also run into some issues if you have a user watching a video on one. When they finish that, they get a watch status. You know, they get marked off. They've watched that one. If you're not doing anything to take care of that on the other instance, that won't be, you know, they won't get that update.
Okay.
So you're going to have, you know, differences between watch status and that kind of thing on there. And you have to manually create users in each instance also.
Okay. Okay, I did not know that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, okay, that one didn't work. Well, yeah, that is AWS. I think we have a couple more slides to go through, or that is Ubuntu, so present. Yeah.
So in conclusion, we learned how to use AWS Lightsail, and we used the instances in order to insert Jellyfin. Like we put specific programs to insert Jellyfin, and we opened and gained access through it using our public IP address. And opening Jellyfin, we made a server which enabled access to the libraries provided while using FileZilla, and we moved the data into the server using Ubuntu. And in conclusion, we learned how to integrate load balancing and auto-scaling to Jellyfin. It's automatic, scalable, and available. It's an available demonstration of what wonders cloud can do for those who want to watch and save media easily.
Okay, now we have plugs. Okay, so obviously we want to thank El Camino College for giving us this opportunity, especially to our Professor Cole for introducing us to cloud.
It's that guy right there.
Okay, this is the class we took. If you're interested, go ahead. I mean, it's right there. Just saying. Okay.
This is my shameless plug. A lot of the skills I learned are from first robotics competition. I don't know if you know this, but for any younger people in the room, there's also First Lego League, but this has helped teach me a lot of skills. There was mentors on my team which taught me a lot of things as well, whereas I was just able to go to them and say, hey, I'm stuck on this problem, can you help me? So that we were able to condense it into these short 30 to 45 minutes. So this is just something that's been really impactful for me and for any students. I'd encourage you to take a look at First Robotics Competition because it really has changed my life.
This is my shameless plug. So basically, I do art commissions, and as a high school student, I'm willing to get any commissions from anyone. And here's just the QR code in case if anyone's interested. I'm a verified Adobe artist, and I'm planning to study 2D animation. So if anyone's interested, we have the presentation on the website, and it's up to you if you want to, if you want to use the QR code. Is everyone good?
Okay, so as for me, I am applying for different internships, including TIP and Boeing. So TIP is the intern project, which basically helps like high school students get internships from companies like SpaceX. And then Boeing is Boeing. So, that's mine. Okay.
And yeah, thank you so much for listening and tuning in.
And then we also have just our emails on here. If you guys have any questions that can't be answered now, you send us questions, we'll try to answer them correctly. Once again, just thank you guys for coming. We appreciate your support, and if you have any other questions, we'll stay here for a couple minutes and answer them.